let's talk about how to get more things done, more things that actually move the needle in your business, make you more successful. So, if you're anything like me, as a realtor in my past life, I was going a million miles an hour, always felt behind, always stressed out, anxiety, all those things, until one of my business coaches that I hired honed in on that and said, let's talk about that. I can sense your stress. I can sense that you're not really present with me because you have a million things on your to-do list. So your to-do list is what we're going to talk about today. He taught me a framework that I still use to this day. And it's a framework that's based on four different categories. Okay, so every task, every activity that I put on my to-do list uh, goes into one of these four categories. Let's start off with the first one. First one is important and urgent. Urgent and important activities and tasks that need to be done. Okay, these are things that are urgent and important to you, urgent and important to your success, urgent and important to you selling more. So these are things like lead generation. Those are things like following up with leads, making past client phone calls. Those are urgent and important because they move the needle, because they make you more successful, they make you more money. Also, things that are on that list are fires. If you have a closing today or tomorrow and there's a fire, you got to put it out. Otherwise, you don't get your paycheck. So those are urgent and important too, but they're urgent and important to you. And that's what I hope you see my emphasis here, because many things that end up on your to-do list are urgent and important to other people, not to you. They're urgent and important to them, but not to your business, not to your success, not to your sanity. Okay. And once you understand that difference, so my first 2, 3 hours are spent in this every day, are spent in this category and the second category that we're going to get to here in a minute. But I spend most of my 2, 3 hours every morning in these categories. And then from then on, my day is more reactionary. But even though, things get added to my to-do list, I still ask myself the question, is this urgent and important to me? And if so, it gets put into that category, whatever that is that happens down the road, or it gets put into the second category. Second category is not urgent but important. And these are things that are, these are things that need to be done, but they don't have that urgency. They don't need to be done today or tomorrow. They need to be done. So you have to have those items have to have deadlines attached to them. They have to have steps attached to them. So it takes a little bit longer to go through that list. Um, and they are meant to make you more productive over time. They're meant to be, things that make you more successful over time. So those are also things like, enhancing your skills, learning new things. You got to plan those, and you got to plan that into your days. And that's what that second category is for. These are very important things for you to do, but they're not super urgent. They're not urgent. They're not today. They're probably not even this week. They have a much longer time frame. The third category is urgent, but not important. Now, this category is most of the time other people's problems that are being put on your plate. And isn't it interesting how a lot of times when you're out of pocket and not available, how these so-called problems magically solve themselves when you're not available, right? So that's a prime example of something that's urgent but not important. Those are urgent to other people, but they're not important to your success. They're not important to you making more money today. And a lot of times, those are also things that you ideally should delegate to somebody else to do. Okay. A lot of times, these are activities that ideally you want to delegate to somebody, um, you know, uh, that are not really worth your time. They don't make you more productive. They don't make you more successful. There's a chance that they may or may not. And so I kind of look at it as, is this a $10 an hour job or a $100 an hour job? Okay. And I try to delegate as much as I can, uh, realizing that the first two categories are the most important ones to work on. Those are the ones that move the needle in my business the most. And so I focus most of my time in those. This third category of urgent but not important is more of a planning category of how am I going to accomplish these things, and hopefully not even having to do them myself. Okay. And the last category is not urgent, not important. And I call that my set me free category. We all have things on our to-do list that if you're honest with yourself, you're never going to do. You're never going to complete these activities or tasks. You just put them on your to-do list. They stay on your to-do list forever. And all they do is add stress to your life because you keep seeing them and you keep in your subconscious mind keep saying, "Oh my God, I still haven't done that." Set yourself free. This is a category where things go to die. This is a category where things never leave the list, and I just write them down and cross them off. And actually, for a while there, I was actually writing them on a post-it note and then throwing the post-it note away. And it was just giving me freedom. It was just liberating me from, I'm never going to do this. Let's just be honest, Mark. I'm never going to do this. Okay. So anyway, if you spend most of your time in the mornings, especially on those first two categories, and spend your time and effort really getting those done first, you're going to have much more productivity. You're going to have less stress. Once you realize category 3 and 4, it's going to de-stress you. And that's what happened to me when I started using this religiously. Instead of reacting to things, I was much calmer about things. And I realized that many of the to-do things on my list were not urgent. And they were borderline not important. And we are people pleasers in this business. We're in the service industry, and so we tend to go overboard and lose ourselves and lose sight of the fact that we have a business to run. Your clients are a product of that business. And if you spend your entire time with your clients trying to make them happy, you're not working on your business. You're not getting more business. So your income keeps doing this. And it's because your activity in the morning is not centered around that first category and the second category. Okay. If you want to talk about this further, I'm available. Call me. Let's discuss. Happy to brainstorm with you, but hope this helped your day and moving forward. All right. Bye.